And welcome back. This is the third installment of the app in an hour. In the first one, I did an intro to code.org. So if you're just now joining us, if you haven't done that one yet, you should start there. In the second one, we worked in the design mode of App Lab's wireframe, and we created two buttons and a text area. So just to give a brief review of that, we've got our count up button, which you should have, and a count down button. The only difference between these two are the button IDs, which is the name that we code with, and then the text, which is the text that fills the button that the user sees. Now that we have these, actually what we want to do is get to coding a little bit. So I'm going to move over here. Instead of being in design, I'm going to click on code, and we're going to go ahead and start to create some things in here that allow us to start actually making the stuff that we designed on the wireframe something clickable, something that we can run as a program. So I always like to think of verbalizing what it is that I am thinking that I want to do on the app, right? So what if I would take that statement and I would say, okay, so what is it exactly that I'm hoping to do when I click this button, right? And I'm going to use those words. I'm going to say, so when I click the count up button, I want my number to increase by 1, right? So there's a couple of different things. This is a larger problem that we're going to have to break down in a couple of different things. So let's start with the simplest thing. I know that I can get things working if when I click on the count up button, uh, it increases something, right? It changes something on the screen. So let's go ahead and try that. So this block right here is called an on event. And what it does is and you can work this into how you talk about it too, but on the event that something is clicked or something is mouse down or something changes on the screen or something like that. So on the event that this thing happens, do this next thing is what it's saying. And this is an event listener, right? This is something that, so I'm creating this thing that's always listening for that thing to happen. Um, I know we've talked about code firing in a very specific order, and this program actually is always it's always running through these lines of code that we have. So this on event that's here, once I have it into place and I have it lined up with the right buttons, it's as soon as I push run on my screen, it's always going to be listening for me to do whatever action it is that's here, or the user, right, or whoever's using it. So I'm going to, if you remember, let's focus on the count up button right now. For count up, we called that with the ID button up, right? Button up. So on the event that button up is clicked, and that sounds reasonable. That sounds like the right thing. You'll see there's a couple of other things that we could put on there as well, but click is perfect. So that's what we're going to go with. So what is it that we want it to do? And actually, this takes us into the next thing, which is to work with variables. So you can think of variables in a program as a container that holds either a string, like a lot of characters that are in quotations, and we can get into that maybe in another program, or like a number, right? It can hold a number too. So a variable is basically this container that holds something so that we can retrieve it and use it. So we want to be able to establish that at the very beginning before we get into anything else. And so right now my on event that says button up is line 1, but I'm actually going to move things down and I'm going to work on variables. So I'm going to grab this, and the way that I got to this purple screen, by the way, if I did that too quick, I apologize. But if I click on variables inside of my toolbox, it opens up a whole bunch of other bubbles or blocks that I can use. So this var x is set to blank is the one that I want to use to declare a variable. This is what you do at the beginning of a program, or sometimes nested inside a program as well, where you are creating a new container, right? You only have to do that once if you're for this specific program. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have this variable, and all I did to get it over here is to click and drag it over. And now it's on line 1. And I am saying that var num is set to 0. So var num is set to 0. That means that this container that I've created, its name is num. And so I can say, retrieve this from num later. And by the way, I'm using num because it's short for number. And inside of num is 0, okay? So it's holding the value of 0. It's not holding the value of nothing. That's completely different, but it is actually holding 0 of something. So what we're going to do is that when button up is clicked, it's actually going to add 1 to that number, right? So in the end, we want, after I've clicked count up button once, I would like num to equal 1. So I need to think about how I might do this. And so there's another handy little block, which is assigning a variable that can happen inside of an on event like this. And basically, instead of x, I'm going to put num. And so basically it means that what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign something new to num. So what I could do, I could click on 1 right here, and I could say on the event that button up is clicked, I'm going to change num to 1. So let me show you something else that's pretty cool here. We have this debug console that I haven't shown you quite yet, but this is a thing where I can set up a variable down here and add it to the screen. Right now it's undefined, but if I click on run, it is set to 0 because it is running this very first line, and now it's listening. So it's at 0 right now. So this is a great way to trace your variables and to see what's in them. And I know right now that I have a variable that's called num that was declared in line 1. And right away, I set that value of the variable to 0. And that's what this is showing me right here. Since I have not clicked the button yet, it is not increasing in value to 1. Right? It's not being reassigned to 1. It will only do that once I click count up. So watch what happens. So now it moved to 1. So the funny thing is that I actually, this is not the right program yet, because if I'm using this app, I'm hoping that the next time I click on count up, it will change to 2. But when I click this, it just resets to 1, and it resets to 1. Every single time I click this, it's doing something in the program. It's actually reassigning whatever was in num to 1, right? And so that's a little bit different. We have to think of it as, okay, I have this in storage right now. And what was in storage before was 0, right? And so I'm going to have to try something a little bit different here. I can't just put 1 in because it'll just be a static number every single time. And it would be a much more convoluted program if I had to program every single number in 0 to 100. So instead, we have to think about taking the number out of storage, adding 1 to it, and then putting it back into storage. So that idea of putting it back into storage is putting it back into num. So I'm going to take out of num, I'm going to add 1 to it, and then I'm going to put it back into storage. And the way that that looks like up here is to use a little bit of math. I'm going to take this plus value that has 2 sides, and I'm going to say what I'm going to do is take the original value of num, that's what I just typed. So this area right here, that's the original value of num. So it's going to pull from whatever it is, and then I'm going to add 1 to it, and then this all together gets thrown back into the same container, but it's going to be a new value because we added 1 to it. So if I click on reset, now when I click on run, you'll notice this is the value of num right now is 0, and you'll notice that's because of line 1. But as soon as I click on count up, it's going to change to 1, and then it's going to change to 2, and then it's going to change to 3. And I can actually click, 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 click. Every single time that I click, it's going to be running this algorithm, which takes num and adds 1 to it, and then puts it back into the storage container with that new value. Okay, so I think this is a good place to stop right now, and then we'll get into the next thing in just a little bit. Thank you.